Set boundaries early. Most people think workplace boundaries are something you establish after a problem appears. A manager starts messaging you at night. Coworkers begin piling work onto your desk. Meetings start creeping into your lunch break. Your workload keeps expanding. And only then do you start thinking about boundaries. But by that point, something important has already happened. People have learned what to expect from you. And changing expectations is usually much harder than creating them correctly in the first place. That's why one of the smartest career strategies isn't boundary enforcement. It's boundary-first onboarding. In today's video, we're going to discuss how to establish clear professional expectations from day one at a new job so you don't accidentally recreate the same workplace problems you've experienced in the past. Section 1. Why workplace history repeats itself. Have you ever noticed that some professionals leave a toxic workplace only to experience similar frustration somewhere else? Different company, different manager, different coworkers, same problems. Why does this happen? Because many people change jobs without changing the patterns they bring with them. They enter a new workplace determined to prove themselves. They say yes to everything, accept every request, remain available at all times, avoid difficult conversations, and unintentionally create expectations that become difficult to reverse later. The workplace changes. The pattern doesn't. Section 2. The first 90 days are more important than you think. Most employees view onboarding as a learning period, and it is. You're learning systems, processes, policies, responsibilities. But something else is happening simultaneously. Other people are learning about you. Your manager is learning how you communicate. Your team is learning how you handle priorities. Leadership is learning how you approach problems. Assumptions are being formed every day. And those assumptions often become long-term expectations. That's why the first few months are so important. You're not just learning the role. You're teaching people how to work with you. Section 3. What boundary-first onboarding actually means. Let's clear something up. Boundary-first onboarding is not about being difficult. It's not about refusing work. It's not about creating unnecessary conflict. It's about creating clarity. Healthy boundaries are simply clear expectations. The goal is mutual understanding, not resistance, not confrontation, not demands. The earlier expectations are discussed, the easier it becomes to avoid misunderstandings later. Section 4. The communication conversation. One of the first areas worth clarifying is communication. Many workplace frustrations begin with unspoken assumptions. Questions you might ask include: what's the preferred communication channel? How are urgent issues handled? What response times are expected? How does the team handle after-hours communication? These conversations help everyone operate with greater clarity, and clarity reduces conflict. Section 5. Defining success early. One of the most powerful onboarding questions is, what does success look like in this role? It's surprising how many employees never ask. Instead, they make assumptions. Unfortunately, assumptions often create problems. Ask questions like, what are the most important priorities? How will performance be measured? What outcomes matter most? What does excellent performance look like here? The clearer the target, the easier it becomes to hit. Section 6. Why saying yes to everything can backfire. Many professionals believe that saying yes to everything demonstrates commitment. Initially, it can, but over time, it can create unintended consequences. If you accept every request without discussing priorities, people may assume unlimited capacity. If you're always available, people may assume constant availability. If you never clarify workload expectations, others may continue adding responsibilities indefinitely. Remember, the expectations you establish today often become the expectations you inherit tomorrow. Section 7. The difference between flexibility and unlimited access. Healthy employees are flexible. Sometimes projects require extra effort. Sometimes emergencies happen. Sometimes deadlines shift. That's normal. But flexibility is different from unlimited access. Helping during an occasional urgent situation is reasonable. Being expected to respond at all hours forever is something else entirely. Boundary-first onboarding helps establish that distinction early. Section 8. Questions every new employee should ask. Here are a few questions that can dramatically improve onboarding conversations. What are the top priorities for my role? How should competing priorities be handled? What communication expectations exist? How is success measured? What challenges do new employees typically face? What behaviors help people succeed here? These questions demonstrate professionalism, curiosity, and initiative. They also create valuable clarity. Section 9. Why good managers appreciate clear expectations. Many professionals worry that discussing expectations will make them seem difficult. In reality, good managers often appreciate these conversations.
Why?
Because unclear expectations create confusion. Confusion creates mistakes. Mistakes create problems. Clear expectations help everyone perform better. Good managers don't want mind readers. They want alignment. And alignment starts with communication. Section 10. Protecting your future self. One of the best ways to think about boundary-first onboarding is this. You're protecting your future self. The conversations you have today can prevent frustrations 6 months from now. The expectations you establish during onboarding can reduce future misunderstandings. The clarity you create early can strengthen relationships later. Small conversations often create significant long-term benefits. Final thoughts. Most workplace boundary problems don't begin with a single event. They begin with unclear expectations. That's why the beginning of a new job matters so much. The first few weeks aren't just about learning the organization. They're about helping the organization learn how to work with you. Communicate clearly. Ask thoughtful questions. Clarify expectations. Define success. And establish professional standards early. Because the strongest boundaries are often the ones created before they're needed. If you found this video valuable, make sure to read the full article linked in the description below. You'll also find the Workplace Boundaries and Self-Advocacy Blueprint in the description if you're ready to strengthen your workplace communication, establish healthier expectations, and build a more sustainable career. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.